Hi! It has been a hot minute since I've last made a video. That was my bad. I don't know what's been up with me. I didn't have anything to say. I've just been kind of in this like limbo where I'm like, I don't want to make a video about just my life because I got nothing really going on. And I also didn't want to just like, I don't know, use up your time with unimportant stuff. I don't know. And if you want to see something, just let me know, because then I'll make a video about it. But until then, I'm just like here with my own thoughts, and I don't know what to do. But I did come up with a thought, so there you go. It's based on a struggle that I went through these past few weeks, actually. I was spending way too much time on social media, and I was really letting it get to me, and there was just like people saying all these things and telling people what they can and can't do and calling people names and all this stuff. And the way that I am, I want to respond and defend someone, or I want to let someone know, hey, you have a choice, you have an option. And I'm like the devil's advocate. I'm like, you can do this if you want to, because there's no specifics. And I'm just like going and going. And finally, I believe it was last week, I responded to someone asked a question. I was like, you can do what you want. You're an adult. You just let you do what you want, everyone else mind their business, and then that's just how it goes. And then people were just furious at me. And I was like, you know what? I think I need a break. So I took a break. I deleted my social media. Well, not all of it. I just deleted Facebook because that's where the conversations just go. Instagram is just like pictures, and that's fine. So I deleted my Facebook for like a week or so, just the app. And I was like, I just need a break from everyone getting mad at everyone. And the way that I was feeling inside, I was like, something's not right with me if I'm feeling this way over things that aren't even about me. And so I deleted Facebook, and I was like, I need to take some time to reflect. Why am I feeling this way? What is going on? How am I supposed to deal with this? And so I took time and began to look into the Word about how I deal with things that aren't my business. And so that's why I named my video the name it is, because it's actually based off of that Kermit the Frog meme. I'll put it in right here. But yeah, I love that meme because it'll say something like super obvious, like, oh, this and this happens. Like they'll point out the hypocriticalness or whatever, and then he'll be like, but that's none of my business. So funny. So I needed to put that into my life and be like, well, that's none of my business. So I biblically found a way to say, but that's none of my business. Oh, sorry. I should probably put my phone on silent. Be professional, Nicole. Okay, so, let's see. And then it turns out there's a lot of ways the Bible just says mind your business. 2 Timothy. I have a lot highlighted in my Bible app. So 1 Timothy 6:20 and 21 says, Timothy, but we're just gonna say Nicole, or your name. Nicole, guard what God has entrusted to you. Avoid godless, foolish discussions with those who oppose you with their so-called knowledge. Some people have wandered from the faith by following such foolishness. Wow. If that's not like real, I don't know what is. That's so real for me because that is what's happening. I'm getting into these godless discussions. There's no love going on. There's no, there's no brotherly love. There's no joy in these conversations. Everything about it is godless. And here I am fighting for someone else, someone who's posting something, and I'm trying to fight for them when they're an adult to make their own decisions and they should fight for them. I shouldn't have to fight for them. Or else, like, I mean, if it's someone I love, I'll fight for you. But if you're on Facebook creating scenarios where people are just going to get upset anyways, then I shouldn't have any part of that. So this verse comes into key for that, 1 Timothy 6:20 and 21. And I love it. Avoid godless, foolish discussions with those who oppose you with their so-called knowledge. Okay, so I will do that. That's very clear. This is, by the way, the New Living Translation version. Very clear on what I'm supposed to be doing right there. What's another one? There's a few. 1 Timothy... Oh, just kidding. 2 Timothy 2:23. And he says, again I say, don't get involved in foolish, ignorant arguments that only start fights. Okay. I mean, sometimes easier said than done, but like sometimes when you're reading the Bible, you're like, what does this mean? What is it trying to tell me? Let me dig deeper. But that seems pretty straightforward to me. Again, I say, don't get involved in foolish, ignorant arguments that only start fights. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was getting so upset at people for things that were none of my business. It was none of my business. And I'm getting upset and knowing that there was no good outcome that's going to come of it. At the end of the conversation, no one was going to get saved. No one was going to feel better. No one was going to feel happy. At the end of those arguments, everyone was going to be upset, offended, and probably keep a grudge against me or anyone else who was on my side. So why was I doing that? I didn't really look up why I was doing that in here. But honestly, it's probably because it was a me problem. I need to work on me. I need to work on minding my own business and not stepping into other people's situations. So that I know that I don't need to get into what's going on in the world. Everyone knows what's going on. But I needed to step back a little and take some time to reflect and be like, Nicole, you need to calm down. I already read 1 Timothy 6:20 and 21, but it's so important that verse 21 gets reread over and over, because in 20 it says, Timothy, guard what God has entrusted to you, avoid godless, foolish discussions with those who oppose you with their so-called knowledge. But then in 21, this is where you have to be careful when you get in like little things over the internet, because a little conversation could turn into a fight, and those discussions, the foolish discussions, it says that this could be an outcome of it. Some people have wandered from the faith by following such foolishness. Well, I don't want to wander from the faith. I don't. So I need to stop doing what I'm doing. I need to stop getting in those little, like, things, I don't know what to call them exactly, those little arguments, and just let it go. It's not on me to correct everybody on the internet. Imagine the burden I would bear if it was up to me to correct everything on the internet. Oh my gosh. So, in 2 Timothy 4:5, it says, but you should keep a clear mind in every situation. Don't be afraid of suffering for the Lord. Work at telling others the good news and fully carry out the ministry God has given you. So that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to keep a clear mind. When I'm upset and not happy with people on the internet, my mind is not clear, and I know it's not clear. I know I'm going to a bad place, so I need to step away from that and remind myself, keep your mind clear, and work on telling others the good news of Christ, that He's risen. That's the good news. So I don't need to get into foolish arguments. I need to start spreading the gospel, because right now more people need the gospel than ever, because there's fear surrounding everybody, anxiety surrounding everybody. Ever since this lockdown, suicide rates are going up because people are having no hope anymore. They're trying to find the will to live. And you know, I get it. I get that this is really hard right now, and I feel that. I feel for them. I feel for the people that are wondering what is the point. I feel for that. And I think that there should be someone reaching out to people, telling them the good news, because right now all we're hearing is bad news. So the good news is what needs to get out right now. The good news that Christ is risen and that he has made a home forever in heaven just for you. And all you have to do is accept him as your Lord and Savior. And he's there for you. And you have eternal life. And you have love and joy and peace and all the good things that the Father gives. So it's just a reminder for me. If I'm going on tangents, my bad. I do that. And it's been a while since I made a video, so I'm like trying to get myself back together. And the last verse is a quick video for me. The last verse I'm going to go to is 1 Thessalonians 4:10 through 12. So let me pull up the full chapter. Okay, so this is talking about, we'll start at 9. But we don't need to write to you about the importance of loving each other. For God himself has taught you to love one another. Indeed, you already show your love for all the believers throughout Macedonia. Even so, dear brothers and sisters, we urge you to love them even more. So you're already loving, you're already giving, but love them more. Love on the people more. And here is where it gets interesting, at least for me. Verse 11 and 12. Make it your goal to live a quiet life, minding your own business and working with your hands, just as we instructed you before. Then people who are not believers will respect the way you live, and you will not need to depend on others. Yep. And then another version says, and you'll lack nothing. So yes, verse 11. Make it your goal to live a quiet life, minding your own business. Brings me back to the beginning of what I said earlier. That's none of my business. It's none of my business. So this is my goal right now. These verses that I pulled up are what I'm reading to myself whenever I so I downloaded Facebook again because I actually do need it for some things like my church back home, my church in Pennsylvania. They do Facebook Lives for Bible studies, and I think that's really it. And I get some information for the base here on Facebook and my job. So I was like, okay, let's be realistic. A lot of information comes on there. Just download the app again. So I did. And you know what? Ever since I took the break, I needed that break, honestly. It gave me time to reflect and to figure out what was wrong with me. And honestly, what was wrong with me was I was just too into everyone else's business. I didn't need to be up in there. So I took some time. I downloaded the app again. And now when I go through and I see something that kind of irritating or dumb, I'm just like, keep going. Who cares? Who cares? That's none of your business. So, I really hope this was helpful for you. I don't know if it is. If not, it was helpful for me. Because it helped remind myself that at the end of the day, I need to worry about me and my house, how I live. There's another verse that came up that says, I gotta find them. Okay. That's 1 Timothy 4:11 and 12. Teach these things and insist that everyone learn them. Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity. So that is what I decided to do. Yes, I am young, but I'm insisting that everyone knows the good news of the gospel, and I'm insisting to myself that it's time to start being an example. It's time to have everyone believe in what I say, not by just what I say, but what I do. Living it out, be an example in the way I live, in the way that I love, in my faith, and in my purity. So that's what I'm doing. I've, what's the word? Turned a new leaf. Yeah, that's what I did. I've decided that I'm no longer going to get in those arguments anymore, and I'm better for it. Honestly, at the end of the day, I feel better. I feel better not having arguments with people that I love all the time over things that we just won't agree on. So yeah, here's what I've learned to break it down. Agree to disagree is great. Gotta love it. And mind your own business. And the third one is not only say what you're gonna do, but be what you're gonna do. Act on it. And show everyone how much you love them and care for them by loving and caring for them. So no more little things anymore on the internet. I'm done with that. That was a phase. Oh, there's a bug. That was a phase, and it is long gone. My husband's happier for it. He was getting irritated with me, and I get it. No, I get it. I would have been irritated with me if I was looking on the outside also. But yeah, it's time to grow up. It's time for me to stop worrying about everyone else and worry about Nicole. So next time I see something dumb or ignorant or just flat out rude, I'll scroll and look at it and say, but that's none of my business.